Hey folks, it's been quite the week and I thought we should do a catch up. It's been a little while since we did one of these, mainly, I have to say, because this board behind me has had all of the details for all of the paddocks and stuff for the weekend on it since August or thereabouts, and I didn't want to rub them off. So yes, we are in a bit of a interesting place at the moment. So this video is going to be weekend of tickets, a little bit of gathering stuff, a little bit of forum stuff, as is usual for these videos. We'll start with the weekend of stuff because it's the big thing at the moment. So thank you, firstly, to absolutely everybody that's purchased tickets so far. It's been a crazy week for us, and we are just thankful for the amount of enthusiasm for our events. These events are run by two of us, and they're neither of our full-time jobs in any way, shape, or form. And we are just blown away by how much people love these events. And we love these events. You know, we put them on because we love them, and we try and make an event that we would like to go to, as we have said before, and we are glad other people like those events. So thank you immediately to everybody that's bought tickets so far and everybody that's enthusiastic about doing stuff with us, coming to the event and all of that. So in fact, actually, I just had an email, so which brings me on to the first point. I had an email asking me if we'd reduced the size of the campsite because we sold out so quickly. Quite the opposite. In fact, we have increased the size of the campsite by more than we usually do based on the demand from last year. And the demand has been so insane that we sold out much quicker than we did last year in all manners. It's difficult to sort of deal with because I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want anybody to miss out coming to our events. You know, everybody that wants to buy a ticket wants to be there. I've missed out on various festivals over the last couple of years, and I know how disappointing it can be, and I don't want to put anybody in those situations. However, we have to keep a lid on the size of the campsites. A few years ago we expanded the campsite at a fairly sizable rate because we knew the demand was there, and it was a bit of a disaster, and we almost ended up having to shut down the event. So we have been gradually increasing the size of the campsite over the last few years. We are now bigger than we were when we had the problems, but because we've done it in a carefully managed way, we haven't had a repeat of those problems. And in fact, I think the campsite's better now than it ever has been, which might also kind of partly show why we've got so many people wanting to buy tickets, because the campsite's really nice. I just want to remind people, the campsite isn't the only bit of the show. Like it's a lovely thing, and it's a great place to hang out with your friends. And you know, it's got a whole vibe. It's a show within a show. But if you want to come to the car show, if you want to come to the best car show of the year, it's still happening. You know, grab a day ticket, grab a couple of day tickets, and stay in one of the numerous local campsites. You know, it's the South Coast. There's loads of them. There's hotels. There's all sorts of stuff. Although I will say, from experience, that Chichester has almost no Airbnbs, which is quite annoying when you need to house people. Anyway, that is like where we stand in that we can expand, but we can't expand too much. That it kind of goes some way to explain why we can't just open it out and get as many people in as we could. We'd make a whole load more money. Like, it's not about money. It's not about any of that stuff. Like, we need to make it manageable. We have plans. We have gradual plans. It will get bigger, but I think that demand will constantly outstrip the size of those campsites. And I'm sorry about it, and I really wish I could do something more about it, but I don't think we can. Not if we want to keep it safe and sustainable and keep it running. So sales numbers wise, we sold out in the first 60 seconds of the Club Retro Rides sale 200 tickets. 60 seconds, 200 tickets. In the next 15 minutes, we sold the next 300. So whilst there were 3 tiers of tickets, 15 minutes into the sales, there was only tier 3 tickets left. So next year we're going to bin the tiers. They make no sense. Like, the whole idea when we originally put them together was like it would encourage people to buy early. We like being able to offer the tickets at last year's prices, even if we have to increase. So there is a point at which if you come in early, you could always buy at the previous year's price. We've held the price this year. We haven't actually increased the price at all, or at least the price you pay, because we did some jiggery pokery with our ticket platform changeover, so that the booking fee means that you as the consumer are paying the same price as you were last year for the same ticket, even though our prices have gone up, because we want to do good by you guys. And I like the ability to always be able to offer that. However, it's turned into a nonsense. It's a complete lottery if you get it. It's not even like, oh, we'll reward the early people, they get last year's ticket price. That there were people that were buying like 2 minutes into the sale, which is about as early as you're going to get. We're not Glastonbury. I'm hoping we haven't got people waiting to click the button, and they're missing out on a ticket I think they expected to be able to get. So anyway, next year there's no tiers. I don't think that's going to cool down the sales. I'm going to say sadly. I'd like everybody to have a nice gentle time. I am not a fan of forcing people to be there ready on their keyboards. So yeah, we're going to get rid of the tiers for next year, but we are hoping that we can keep a level price. Let's see how we get on. It all depends on what external pressures we have financially, what gets raised, what doesn't get raised, where we can find savings and stuff like that. Anyway, pre-sale was crazy. That went to Club Retro Rides. There was a bunch of people that joined Club Retro Rides last minute in order to get tickets, and that's fine for this year because there was no way you could have really joined Club Retro Rides earlier because I changed over the system. For next year, that will only really be available to people that have been a member of the club for a while. Club Retro Rides is there to support the forum and the hosting costs and various other little projects that go on around the shows. It is not part of the show infrastructure. We just did that because we wanted to be able to give a little reward to those that support the wider community of Retro Rides. And it's now sort of become a bit of a proxy for getting early tickets for some people. And again, that's fine, but we do want people to be a longer term member in order to do that. So that will be true for next year. Will that cool things down? I don't know. We'll find out. So yeah, that was nuts. And then we went to the mailing list with a couple of hundred tickets ultimately. And that took about 20-25 minutes to sell out. However, part of that was due to a problem with our mailing system, which I had a conversation with them. So it did this during the club sale, which was less of a problem because of the volumes involved. But we scheduled a time, so we scheduled 10 o'clock to go out for the mailing list. And on the club sale, it was still delivering mails at 10:40, and that was, that's ridiculous. There wasn't even that many to go out, and then so I put in a thing saying like, we got a big mail coming out on Friday, and it needs to go out at 10. It has implications for tickets and all of that stuff. They went, oh yeah, there was a thing. We were analysing a thing, and it was fine. Your tickets sales one on Friday will be all set up and it will go out at the same time. And then it just didn't. And that's entirely out of our control, but it's incredibly frustrating. So I will be looking to change our mailing platform for a start, and can only apologise for that. It was out of our control. We are trying to stop it happening. It's incredibly unfortunate that it happened. I think ultimately it would have made the sale a bit more of a bloodbath, I think, if it had all gone out at once. But equally, there's some people that managed to miss out as a result of that mail arriving late that may have got tickets, but then other people that did get tickets would have then missed out. So net, we only had X amount of tickets to sell and Y amount of people that were buying them, and the Y amount of people was more than the X. So we would have always ended up with people that have been missing out. To which end? We are putting we've put the waiting list live, and if you go to buy tickets, so if you're on a mailing list, you already have this link. This will go to the general public on tomorrow, actually. It will give you the opportunity to join the waitlist. I will say this: the waitlist is already probably bigger than we can service, which is very, very disappointing. However, I don't know if all of those people will buy or if they just put their name in the waitlist. So let's see. It also gives us another list of people that we can contact if future sales and stuff come up. What we are doing beginning next week, we are looking at the feasibility of increasing the size of the campsite again, but keeping it in a manageable limit. We'll speak to Goodwood, speak to our security guys. It won't be enormous, but it will be more if we can get all this through. And I'm pretty hopeful we can. Like I've looked at maps and made some diagrams, and I think we can make it work. So fingers crossed that all comes through. We make a bunch of people on the waitlist happy. There will always be people as we come up to the event that will cancel. Someone's booked a January off, another time this happens, but people don't tend to cancel until later. But people book a family holiday and the only dates they can do is XYZ. Someone's got an exam, there's a wedding, there's a birthday, there's something someone's forgotten, right? So we always end up with some level of return of camping tickets. Some years it's higher than others. Last year it wasn't particularly high, I have to say. But yeah, it's there's still the opportunity to get tickets. It's not a complete dead end just yet. So if you are after tickets and you missed out, join the waiting list. We'll see what we can do. Next year we'll change some things and we'll just see how it goes. I mean, I love having a very popular event, but it's bringing a different level of stress to it now. We're not heading into Christmas going, oh my God, I hope we make enough money to be able to pay our deposits. We're heading into the sale going, oh my God, I hope we don't disappoint too many people. And it's a not nice feeling, and I on both sides, and I apologise to anybody that didn't get their tickets. We are trying to make things better. As I say, I have missed out on more than a few tickets over the last few years, and I know it can be quite disappointing. And also, please keep in mind, it's me and Keith at the other end of these emails and replies to on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. We're just two guys trying to run an event. We're not doing this to be vindictive against you if you missed out on tickets, so please be kind. Thank you. The day tickets for Weekender, we're already 50% through the Tier 1 Saturday and Sunday day tickets, which is crazy. Like, that's more than we've ever been at this point. I think last year we sold out of the Tier 1 of day tickets at the end of December or something for the Saturday, which is only like 2 or 3 weeks before they would go up in price anyway into the Tier 2, because they're gated by date generally. But yeah, that's worth keeping an eye on. If you're committed to coming, get your day tickets. If you're committed to coming and you're on the wait list, but you're definitely going to come and stay somewhere else, get your day tickets. We will refund your day ticket if you manage to get a camping ticket in the wait list sale. So the gathering stuff is likely, the campsite is likely to go to all Club Retro Rides people, given the size of Club Retro Rides again. Even if we do expand the campsite, there might be a few that make it out onto the general mailing list, but we don't intend to expand that too much. We really loved the feeling of that campsite last year. It was really nice. We will also likely expand the day tickets for gathering this year, but again, not by much. They sold out. I didn't think they were going to sell out. I have to say, I thought we'd be close. I thought we'd be within sort of 50, 100 of them selling out, but then they sold out the week before the show last year. And because that sold out, we got to know the venue a little bit better. We know how we can lay things out a little bit differently. how we can just improve that event all round. It was great this year, but certainly for 2026 it'll be better. We are looking at that to reduce the price, which is you find me another event that's reducing the price of their tickets. Because, as I say, we've added that up, we've looked at the maths, and we are running that event as if we sell this out, which we intend to, what do the numbers look like, right? What does then the ticket look like? Because these are all of our costs. And based on this year and some increases in numbers across the place, we can hopefully afford to bring that in a slightly cheaper ticket, which will be, I think, nice. So yeah, and we got improvements and things we want to do to that event. So yeah, Gathering next year should be fun. Really enjoyed it this year. I think it's the first show in about 15, 20 years that Keith and I have been able to walk around together and look at cars, which is just unbelievable. So yeah, that's kind of being in February. So keep your eyes open for that. If you're on the mailing list, you'll find that info pretty early in the new year. We'll start disseminating that. And in the meantime, join the forum. There's some big updates that are happening to the forum over this winter. Because of the influx of Club Retro Rise people, of Club Retro Rise people, we will be in a position to remove advertising from the forum. So that will make the forum an even nicer place to be. And that has been my intention for the most of this year, and we are now at that point. I just need to give them notice, but in doing so I need to rearrange some bits and pieces on the forum, and then because I started doing that, I've started redesigning the forum. So I'm over this winter that will come to fruition, and it should be a really nice experience to use the forum. I'm currently using it at the moment, and it's got a lot of more stuff to be styled, but it's already really nice and readable, so I'm very happy with that. And we'll be doing some more of these. I've got a few of these that I need to do that aren't just talking about the shows or the forum. So yes, let's look forward to a bright end of the year, and then a very exciting next year. I can't wait to start sharing what we've got going on, who we've got coming. I'm already excited about it, and I haven't yet told anybody about most of what's happening. And our little ravey design stuff is right up my street, so I am very much looking forward to getting even more stuck into that. There'll be playlists and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, 18 minutes, that's too long. Bye.